Okay, go.
I'm going to recognize you out whenever you're ready.
Okay, so this is going to be the handy-dandy explanation at participant of what an EDAR is. First of all, the word EDAR stands for Everyone Deserves a Roof, and it's called an EDAR because I couldn't think of a better name for it. What this is physically is a $492 piece of metal and cloth. They were designed because I sponsored a competition out at the Pasadena Arts Center College of Design 2 years ago for the best mobile single-person homeless shelter. And this was, or at least an earlier version, was the result. We then found a shopping cart manufacturer in the City of Commerce, and we went through 9 prototypes, and we've now made 60 copies of the 9th prototype. So what this is physically is the following. In the daytime, you have basically a Costco supermarket-sized shopping cart. Instead of stealing one, if you're a homeless lady or gentleman or child, you can actually use this one. You have your 2 waterproof pockets, one at the front, one at the back. You have a hole inside that you can put your belongings in. You can strap stuff over the top, as is their habit. And for about the 40% of homeless people who do recycling, it becomes something that you can actually push along and quite comfortably put your cans in one place and your bottles and all the rest of it, because for about 40% of them, that is the economy of the street. Do recycling all day, go to the recycling center, give them big bags, get $20, go buy a hamburger and a bottle or something. That's kind of what life is, 7 days a week. So where this is different than a shopping cart is you can't sleep in a shopping cart. But what you can do with this is the following. You find yourself a nice, safe place where you will not get run over, and where hopefully you'll have a little bit of be left alone, which is a whole issue. And you do that. And you do, whoops. There we go. And you do this. And you hopefully put the brakes on, which is always a good thing. Without the brakes on, it could move. And you unzip. And you unzip. And you now have a 6'10" long enclosure that you can sleep in reasonably comfortably, which John Schreiber should climb in order to demonstrate
really.
it. Oops.
Oh, totally. Yeah, get in.
Alright. This is deliberately designed not to be better than a bed in a shelter, but to be a great deal better than sleeping on a piece of cardboard on the concrete. What is this? We've used the only Velcro. They put it on upside down. Unbelievable.
This is blog-worthy.
Yeah.
That's blog-worthy.
This is brilliant.
Can I just say
Sorry?
I've stayed at residence inns that are less comfortable.
Okay. Yeah. It's kind of Motel 6, you know. It is what it is. There are 73,000 homeless people in the county of LA. There are 12,000 beds in shelters. There are 61,000 people who are sleeping rough in one way or another in inadequate situations in the rain every night. And that is just the county of Los Angeles. If you take that 61,000 who have nowhere to sleep, and you take the average cost per bed of building a shelter, which is clearly a much more desirable solution, but if it were somewhere, and it is, the county spent last year per bed $100,000 to construct a shelter. You want 10 beds, it's $1 million. You want 100 beds, it's $10 million. We think we could do it for less than that, let's say $50,000 per bed. So that would be $3 billion to give a bed to everyone in the county who needs one. In our lifetime, and not even in the Great Depression that's been created for us by Wall Street and the politicians, I don't believe that will ever happen. So then the question is it acceptable for a man or a woman or a child to be sleeping in a cardboard box? The epiphany for me was that when I did my 62 interviews on my bicycle with my homeless people, there were a few revelations. The first revelation was half of them are women, the other half are men, approximately. The other revelation is that 1 in 7 is a child under the age of 18. Go figure. The epiphany was that a woman at Santa Monica and the 405, when I said, "Where do you sleep?" she said, "I will show you." And she took me onto the Caltrans land behind the shrubs, and she showed me a huge cardboard box, and on the side of the cardboard box it said Sub-Zero. And I thought, well, this is the damnedest thing. This is like the moment in time, because I got the refrigerator and she got one of the cardboard delivery boxes, and we are maybe sleeping each night 3 miles apart from each other.
Yes.
And that just doesn't seem right to me. So in terms of a pragmatic solution, not without challenges, but it's happening, this is EDAR's partial answer. What has emerged is that we're distributing them through partnerships with shelters, Union Rescue Mission, Midnight Mission, the Venice Community Housing Corporation. We're working with people in Santa Barbara, Pasadena, Orange County, 3 organizations there, and a whole bunch of other shelters and other workers who are trying to do good things for homeless people because they're human beings. We have the RAND Institute, God bless them, who have donated an efficacy study. So we have 4 brilliant young people with clipboards, with PhDs and clipboards, running around starting last week, interviewing not just the homeless people, but also the police, the municipal fathers and mothers, and anyone else, the shelters obviously, and the end users. They're asking them, did it work? Did the wheel fall off? Did it leak? We don't think it does. We don't think it catches fire, but we need to learn from the end users. Secondly, we need to know if anyone harassed them, or whether they were left alone. We need to know, where did you park this in the daytime and in the nighttime. Comes with a chain and padlock, and obviously it has brakes, and also on one of the wheels it has a hole through which you can put a big padlock with a long, what is called the shank, so that the thing will not move at all. The glory of this is it's not really much more complicated than that. There's a bit more to say, but the goal here is that this company, Participant Media, because I'm privileged to be on your advisory board, I get to spend a very modest amount of Participant Media money each year on a philanthropy. And it went into this, which is why we have 60 of them. So thanks to you guys and Jeff Skoll, because otherwise I'm not quite sure where that money would have come from. If we can prove, and I think we will, based on the early results, that this has efficacy for certain categories of homeless people, and then I want to do 1,000 in January. But we're not going to prejudice the RAND thing. They need to do their study, and we need to have an open mind to learning from it, and then we will do whatever the smart thing is, which also means we'll have to raise a big chunk of change. So there you go. That is the 7-minute EDAR pitch.